Good day, it's Friday. My camera's actually charged. I actually remembered it. So let me bring you up to speed on this project that we've been working on. So we are working on prepping a pad for a 72 foot wide by 140 foot long, I believe, pole barn structure. So it's going to kind of look like our two equipment sheds here, except it's going to be a little bit wider, and with that it's going to have tall ceilings in this. So this building's going to be planned on sheeting it all in, so it's going to be a little bit more weather tight building compared to our open sides on those two. And it's going to have two overhead doors on it. It's going to have them offset, so they'll be on this corner here and in this corner. This barn's going to run north and south compared to our other two that run east and west. So what we had to do was, number one, the driveway used to run through here and zigzag and snake all around. So what we did is Ricardo actually baled. The road used to come basically right through here and then snake around. You could see how the orchard rows stop up there, how it snuck around. So we saved all the gravel that was here. We didn't have to haul in a single load of gravel yet, and we were able to straighten this road out so the road runs straight now. So that was step number one. The second step it was kind of hilly here from a job before, and what we did is we moved all that dirt to level it out, and we threw it up here on this pad, because where those two cones are down there, we're about to grade, and we want this pad basically level. So with that being said, when we set up our transit, when we put the stick, we want it the same grade as over here. So this wants to be flat. So with that, it sloped naturally down to the north here quite a bit. So on this end we had to build it up about 1.5 feet or so. So we needed to haul in some dirt. You can see Matt's hauling some dirt here. We're just finishing up kind of how we want this approach to come into this doorway here. So so that's that. We built this up in layers using that roller over there. We didn't own a roller up until 2 years ago when we built our new CA storage. We used to just put the dirt down or the gravel, and then we took a big tractor with a bucket full of gravel to try to get more weight on it, and we'd drive back and forth. And I'm really glad we got that roller now. We used to rent one on big jobs, and time we rented one, they're expensive to rent, they're expensive to own, and somehow we found that one, and it's been good to us. We found it for the right price, and we haven't had any problems with it. So again, knock on wood on that. But so we use this roller to build it up in layers so we have really good compaction. This building's not going to have concrete to begin with, but you want to make sure the ground's very compacted, because on a job like this, because if not, that ground's naturally going to settle, and with that, if you have like a concrete floor, the ground will settle below and then the floor will crack. So if you see like your garage floor ever crack, or your sidewalk crack, it's because there's an issue with the soil down below, whether the frost with winters in upstate New York moved it, which is very possible, especially with sidewalks and whatnot, but some of that could be due to lack of compaction. So raising your lifts in the proper stage. So that took us quite a few days because there's quite a few dump truck loads of dirt. So that was the next step. Now where we're at is what we did today is picture this roof line like this. So the water's going to flow off to over by my truck there, and it's going to flow off to the driveway. So there's a lot of watershed when we get a rain. So, and one thing I forgot to mention on the pad is we're going to put 6 inches of gravel or so in there. But I didn't want to do that yet, because when the builders come, they're going to be augering in the post and they're going to be bringing dirt up. So I didn't want to contaminate that fresh gravel we bring in with the dirt. So we'll bring the gravel in after the fact. Unless fall really sets in on them and it's real muddy and stuff, we may bring in some gravel, so just so they can move around with their telehandlers and scissors lifts and stuff. But the watershed coming off, so what we did is we took the tile plow and we run these tiles, 4-inch tiles, to collect some of that watershed. We ran it exactly 10 feet off this edge of the overhang, and then this all naturally, I don't know if the camera picks this stuff up, but this all naturally slopes down into here, which before in our old driveway we just had a culvert and then a 4-inch tile with a little rock basin here, and that really set us back on this job, because it went from a 12-inch pipe, and then when we had some dirt over here, they extended that tile by just putting a 4-inch into a 12-inch, and that's never what you want to do. You always want to go keep going bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you start off in your uphill slope at 4-inch, you know, as you get farther down, more water capacity, then you step it up to 6-inch, and then 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch. And you never want to go from like a 6-inch to a 4-inch. That's not how you do that. So anyways, we had to redo all this. That set us way behind, and we ended up getting this drop inlet. So this is a concrete basin. A local guy around builds these up. Love working with him. He does a real good job. So this is a catch basin. We got a 12-inch going underneath the road, and then we tied in our 4 inches in these swales, because our road's higher. We want the water to run off the road. So in that valley, you don't want the water to sit. So we got a tile, which we ran it pretty shallow. We ran it only anywhere from 24 inches to 18 inches in the ground, because we're not going to be running chisel plows through here or anything like that where we worry about catching it. So we want it right on the surface, so when we get these flash floods, these rains, boom, water can get into the tile, it can get into the ground, clean water into the ditch. So I'm just going to pull this grate off. It's really heavy, but I'll pull it off for you guys and we can see how we tied this in here. As I smash my fingers. Alright, so when we get these basins here, they're basically just solid walls, and they're a little bit thinner. We can see on this side here, they're a little bit thinner in here. So then what we can do is we can choose where we want the elevations of our pipe. So you just take a big hammer like this and you just hit it against the wall and smack a hole out. So I'll just go over kind of how a bulldozer works. You see there's no steering wheel or anything like that. This red knob here is basically just a safety. So when that's down, the machine can go forward and back. Whenever you get out of the machine, you pull this handle back like this, and the machine will not go in forward or reverse. The blade won't set down. It won't do anything. So to do anything, you put this down. This dial here is basically the throttle. So the more you spin the dial, the more it revs up. And with that, this pedal here, it's like a clutch almost, but it's called a deaccelerator. So when you push down on it, it lowers the revs, the RPMs. So when you switch from forward to reverse, you push that in so it's not full throttle forward, full throttle reverse. You ease it in forward and reverse. So over here is just a forward. When it's clicked forward, you're in forward, and then when it's back, you're in reverse. You can hear the backup alarm now. To turn this machine, you just turn it a little bit left. If I pull it right, the machine will pull right. If I pull it left, the machine will pull left. Some on the older bulldozers and our older bulldozer, there's 2 levers in between your feet and 1 levers each track. Now over here, this is a 6-way blade, so I have up, down, and then if I spin it like this, you can see the blade spinning this way, and then go this way, it's that way, and that way. So let's level some dirt on this building pad project. So we got that all leveled off, and this is just dirt. So now this whole building site will get top coated with 8 inches of gravel. We got this drainage pipe here exposed because this water is going to come down here. We're going to fill this with stone so that way the water can get into the pipe and cross underneath this driveway. We built this up so high here so that way trucks and, you know, when we're coming with our tractors and implements, they can just drive right in and come right into this building. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you like this style of video, working with the construction side of things, and I can do more of it. This is a lot what I do day to day on the farm.